Hi everyone, Peter here from Flow High Performance. In this presentation, we're going to be continuing our video series on the hypertrophy training guidelines, and this one's going to be on hypertrophy for the triceps. So first, let's get into the anatomy of the triceps. So if we have a look here at the triceps, we can see that the triceps have a common attachment point. So all of the different heads of the tricep attach here onto the forearm, just where the elbow is. The name triceps is named appropriately because tri meaning three resembles the three heads of the tricep. So we can see two heads here. The first head is attaching here on the upper arm near the shoulder, and this one, the long head, actually crosses that shoulder joint and attaches here on the scapula. And that's going to have important implications when we talk about the exercises later. Then if we cut away these two heads, just so we can see underneath, we can see the third head here, which again has the same common attachment point, but it attaches here again on the upper arm. So all three heads have distinct attachment points, but they all have this common insertion here at just after the elbow on the forearm. So the movements that the tricep produces are elbow extension, so all the heads will do that because of that common attachment point. But we also have the long head that produces shoulder extension. So because it crosses the shoulder joint here, it actually produces this movement here. So if we have the arm straight up in the air and we bring that down towards our body and behind us, that's the movement that the long head produces. And then all heads again will produce elbow extension. So having the elbow bent and then straightening the arm out. So do presses train the triceps? So as we remember from the anatomy, the triceps extend the elbow and then the long head extends the shoulder. So during presses, we have elbow extension, which is good, that's what the triceps do, but we also have shoulder flexion. So the shoulders go from a point when they're close to the body, basically the upper arm moves towards the head. So that shoulder flexion is not going to have an influence on two heads of the triceps, but the third head, the long head, it will have an influence on, because the long head produces shoulder extension. So during presses, like something like a bench press, for example, the triceps will shorten at the elbow, but the long head will then lengthen at the shoulder. So the net balance of that long head is that it doesn't really change length, and therefore it's not really going to be used. So most of the triceps will be heavily active during any sort of press, whether that's a bench press or an overhead press, but the long head won't be very active. So what exercises are going to train the triceps? So we have our compound exercises like our presses, our bench press, barbell and dumbbell, overhead press and dips. And they are all going to train the triceps, but as we mentioned, it's not going to fully train the triceps because of the issue with the long head. So something like a close grip is going to be quite effective, whether that's barbell or dumbbell or an overhead press. But if we want to get maximal adaptation and hypertrophy of the triceps, we need to do something to actually hit that long head as well. So we need to include probably some isolation exercises that include pure elbow extension. So something like a skull crusher, whether that's with a bar or a dumbbell, cable push down as we have here, or like a tricep kickback could work as well. So all these exercises basically giving you pure elbow extension without any shoulder flexion. So a combination of both compound exercises and isolation exercises is probably going to be most effective for optimal tricep hypertrophy. So an example of how we can program for the triceps, we are likely to do tricep training on the same day as we do some sort of pressing training because we are already using the triceps for the presses. So for example, if we have like a close grip bench press, which is compound exercise, and then we do some cable push downs as well, and we'll do both of those exercises twice a week. So 4 sets of 8 at 80 kilos, and then on the other day of the week, same exercise but 4 sets of 10 with slightly lower weight but slightly higher reps. Same thing with the push down, 4 by 10 with 30 kilos, and then 4 by 12 with 25 kilos. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you got something out of this video. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already.